the way to like see, especially because with my Goku bag that I made, which I don't have it handy on me, so I'm probably not going to show it, but when I made it, I used a larger hook size. So this right here is 4 millimeters. The reason why I'm using a smaller hook size is because it makes it more like sturdy and it doesn't do as much stretching. So actually right behind here, so this right here is a 5 millimeter hook. As you can tell, there's a difference in size here. I guess a bigger difference in size you can see, in case this isn't, but like there are different hook sizes, and the different hook sizes, it can change depending on the project. This right here is supposed to be a pumpkin. I also used the 4 millimeter on that, but yarn comes different sizes. That's why you would also change your hook size, and then also tension stuff like what I'm doing right now. Like I heard about like changing hook size for like, they're called amigurumi, or just stuffed animals. And so people like to use a smaller hook size on amigurumi. It's because it's a stuffed animal and they want to make it sturdier, and it like helps with like shaping and stuff when it's sturdy. But I'm using the sturdiness because I want to make a bag that hopefully isn't super slouchy and weighed down and sad looking. But yeah, I mean, I was looking for another green, one that was darker, but like just from this brand, because like when I make projects such as like my piccolo tapestry, which is actually right back here, if I bring it up right there up at the top, but I like to use like the same brand because it feels more similar. It's weird when I haven't got to the point where I'm like experimenting with crochet, like using different brands and different like textures and stuff. Well, I guess I technically have, but it's kind of weird. I mean, it had like some type of like fur yarn, like trimmings or whatever, the edges of it. That fur yarn is actually, hold on. Okay, no, it's not handy. I looked to see, because I know I had it on like a, wait a second. Wait a second, what did I mess up at? Is it over here? Oh, actually, I can see this on the camera better. Yes, it was over here. Okay, yeah. But I had it on a mannequin head. I was gonna show the fur yarn and how you cannot see the stitches. So like for this one, whenever you are crocheting, or I guess in this case I'm crocheting, you can see like the stitches and like where to put your hook at and stuff like that. With the fur yarn, you cannot see that, and your guess is as good as mine on where to like put the hook at. So for this one, it's easy to see. So like here, we're at the end, and there's only like one more set of bars going like horizontally, I guess, like I could say. So I know I can go in between that, and then whenever you put your hook through, you should see, it should be able to separate into two. It's hard to see here, probably because of my shadows and stuff like that, but it goes into two little V's. I know apparently some people, when they first start crocheting, they only go into one of the top loops instead of both of them, and that's kind of like a learning curve. I don't know. I never saw a video that specifically told me to go into both, but I always just kind of have, because I just assumed that's what they were doing. Because that's how I learned, was a lot through YouTube videos. Now you could give me a pattern and I could probably figure something out if I like know what the final product looks like. The only thing about following patterns is everyone's tension is different and people use like slightly different yarn, or like a yarn can be, they could say it has like the same, I guess, qualities, dimensions or whatever, but I don't know, sometimes some yarns are more stretchy than others, so it's like, yeah, it goes with this hook size and it's like this thickness, but the product still ends up being like slightly different. I don't know, it's pretty hard to explain, but I am looking to like expand on the yarn that I use. Oh yeah, and then I'm just clicking this to keep track, so I need to make 2 of these. Oh, I'm like kicking this thing. When I crochet, I just kind of la 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 la. But I wanted to, when I went out of town with my family a few months ago, I bought some of this like bamboo yarn. It's really thin, and I'm just like, I'm trying to think of what I want to do with it. Like, it's thinner than what I'm used to doing, and then it's like also a different kind of material. Like, I could make like a shawl, I could do something easy, but I'm gonna do something that like I would wear if I'm making a wearable. I could make another headband. I could do that. Kind of like one of my little triangle bandanas. I make a bunch of them just to kind of see how the yarn works. And I'll probably have to use okay, I thought someone was knocking on my door. But I would probably end up using this size right here. This size hook to use it, because it is... Actually, hold on. I might actually have this handy. Let me be back. Okay, this was not as... Oh, knocking stuff. Okay, this wasn't... It wasn't as easily accessible as I thought, but... just to show, this is the yarn. Ooh, okay, this light is making it look a little crazy. And let me stop dropping stuff around here. But I got it, and as you can tell, this is how thin this is compared to like this strand. So even 2 of these strands is like still half the amount of this. Also got another, what did I drop? Oh, this. Okay, yep, mic's still on. Okay. I also got another yarn. So this one here is made out of satin, I believe. Silk. No, this is a silk one. It's a Japanese brand. So this one's also thinner than the other one. I have not used silk either, so I'm interested in using both of them. I want to use this one first. I actually have an idea, and I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna run out of yarn, and I kind of want to test the idea out on like cheaper yarn. But I kind of wanted to try out the bamboo yarn, the one that's orange, to make something like my little triangle thingies. That's actually hard to see, so. But I'm used to using, so this right here is acrylic yarn, and yeah, people have mixed opinions about this. It is cheaper, and I guess it is kind of like made out of like a plastic. It's more synthetic compared to like a cotton or a wool kind of yarn, something, a natural fiber is what they call it. But I've actually worked with other stuff. So this is a little chowder hat that I made. Ooh, okay, light is lighting. Can I? Okay, no, I'm just very bright right now. Yeah, this is just how the camera be. But this is actually darker. But it's like a chowder hat, and it's made out of a velvet yarn. So I didn't actually buy this. I would not have bought this if, like, you know, it was my money, but my grandma bought it for me, and she was like, hey, I know you like to do stuff with yarn. And I was like, okay, let me figure something out. And I saw like a YouTube video recommended to me, and it was like a chowder hat, and I was just like, ooh, that's like the same exact yarn I have, and in person that very much does look like chowder. Maybe I should post it on my Instagram, like some pictures of stuff that I've made. The Instagram I have is just the same name as my channel, Moon's Boom. But okay, that's acrylic. But this part right here, so this is actually a yarn, which is crazy to think of. Like, hold on, let me see if I can put my finger through. So I'm putting my finger through here. This is probably a missed stitch, but it is so, oh, it's also white, so it's hard to see. But I can even see, like in person, where the color looks better and not as bright. I cannot see like where the stitches are. Like for this, easily you can see stitches, 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 you know, same here. But this was like a game of just guessing. Yeah, let me let the light try to chill for a bit. Can't see anything, but I think it was a nice touch. I still have more of this yarn, and I can only think about using it for trims. I know people can make like cardigans and stuff out of it. I am not at that level yet. I am just making boxes and putting boxes. Actually, cardigan, a simple cardigan really is just a bunch of boxes put together. It'll be like one box for like 1 or 2 boxes for this sleeve, depending if you want to make it big or not. Actually, no, it can be 1 box. Yeah, because you can fold it. It's like 1 box for the sleeve. Ooh, let me make sure. Hold on, because this is short. Did I do? Yeah, I did. Another thing about this is sometimes I mess up, and it's like sometimes I just keep going. Sometimes the little mistakes are fun, you know? As long as it doesn't like completely ruin the project. Which I can't see 1 stitch doing. Even multiple stitches, because there's ways to like quote unquote fix what you're doing. Like for some patterns, they'll be like, some patterns I like because they actually have how many like stitches you need at the end of the row. And then like, let's say you're like 1 less stitch off or something like that, like you could technically add another one in. And it might not look the same as like, you know, their finished product, but it will look very similar. It might be like slightly off. I think if you're doing things with color, like changing colors, then you want to definitely like do it right. What else am I off on? So low-key might just, okay, no. I'm actually gonna try to do good. I'll just start this row over. So kind of like what I'm doing here right now is what I'll end up doing for like the other panel, and then you can't really see my mouse on the screen, but also the front and the back. So for the back side's gonna be longer than the front because I'm gonna have that flap over in the front. But the front's also gonna be in the same texture. And then what I'm thinking of, so I have some of these, but the holes are a whole bunch smaller, and I'm thinking about doing a pixel face. I need to start on that. That's gonna take me like the longest amount of time, but I also don't know, like, I don't want to start it first. That might be that'll be the last thing I add. It'll be the last thing I add because it's gonna take the most amount of time, and then also like I need to be like precise in what I want it to be. I guess I'll probably add that so when I'm working on this bag next time on stream, which I might work on something else. So I still have my cranberries here from Stardew Valley. I guess kind of officially start next week on my own at my job, because this was supposed to be, well, I'm taking off tomorrow, which is why I'm streaming late now. So I'll be off, and I'll be off to tomorrow and on Friday. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted. But what that means is that when I go back to work on Monday, then I won't be in like training mode anymore, but I will be having someone like kind of supervise me and like look to make sure I'm not like, you know, completely confused or anything. Like if I need to work on stuff, like I'll be in my own office instead of being in other people's offices. So I'm actually excited about that. Let's just start over. I'm like looking at, it's like trying to pay attention to this playlist. I didn't add any more songs like I was supposed to. So it might be Lupin. Not the third though. So funny. Actually, I haven't watched the anime of Lupin the Third, but I did see the Netflix, like, I guess, live action of it. But it wasn't like a live action anime, it was like just like real people. And I think the story was like different and stuff, but it's like the concept of Lupin, like the character of Lupin was there. Okay, it's actually looking not too bad. I like to check to make sure the edges make sense. They're gonna be weaved into this plastic, but I don't like to have a super wobbly. Like, I am honestly not the biggest fan of doing what I'm doing here, is chaining one at the end of the round. It tends to make the edge look more bumpy, so it looks kind of bumpy here, but it's actually pretty straight, like quite straight for what's going on here. Okay, did I press this? I don't know. This is honestly just gonna be an estimate of rows. I try my best when I'm like doing, like I have to do more than one thing. I like to try to keep track and hope that I'm, you know, making them identical. But even if I do like the same amount of rows, because I did it with a cardigan, I believe, and it still ends up looking different because like my tension is just different. And there's not much you can do about that. You can undo it and then like try again and again till your tension's the same exact way, which is very difficult. I know some people who've been crocheting for a long time have like a consistent tension. I would say mine isn't too bad. I could be wrong though. There's like a professional that comes in chat, they're gonna be like, huh, actually, you have like the attention of a person who's been crocheting for like a day. No, not a day. Now, I've actually had someone compliment my tension when I did my first crochet project, because I posted it in someone's Discord, because I was like just showing art stuff, because they had one of those kind of channels, and they were like, oh wow, like my girlfriend crafts and she said that like that's really amazing. And I was like, oh yeah, it's my first thing I've ever made crochet wise. I had to specify, like, I've done loom knitting, which loom knitting, I'm not exactly sure how tension impacts that too much. Okay, so loom knitting, I might, if I find a cool pattern, I would do it on stream, but I feel like it's a bit, I don't know, maybe the tension's too loose for me on that one. But you don't want to make your tension too tight on a loom knitting, like when you're doing on a loom, because then you're not able to remove the yarn. You're not able to remove the yarn from the pegs. I feel like I'm doing a whole bunch of yapping about this, about crafting in general, which I guess isn't too bad. But yeah, my day, I guess hasn't been too bad. You know, clients beat clients sometimes. I thought today was gonna be a really, really chill day, because I had to do like this training thing in the morning, like my entire clinic had to, so we had to, like, we didn't have any appointments or anything scheduled. And that was the morning, and then in the afternoon I was like, okay, we should be getting mostly phone calls, because well, apparently from what I've heard, Wednesdays is a day we're supposed to be doing more phone calls than in-person appointments. And I'm like, cool. And my job this week as training was just to do like what's normally the in-person, which were the phone calls, which I'm like, okay, cool, I can do the phone call stuff. And everybody who came into the office, because like we have like this clip that goes around, and we kind of, we're not assigned to a specific family, just because, you know, we're not actually doctors, like stuff like that. And, you know, we can plan our vacations without having to worry, like, oh, is this person gonna get their stuff, you know, are they gonna get their appointment done and stuff. So yeah, we don't have assigned people, and they kind of go around whoever's like next in line to get a person. And every time it got to my trainer's room, which is the room I was working in, it kept being an in-person like appointment, which isn't bad, you know. So I did my in-person people. Oh, okay. This is a different one? I don't know. Yeah, I try to do one of those like stream friendly music thingies. I think last time though, there were some things that were taken off, and it was inside that playlist, because I played it from like the first track and I didn't do shuffle or anything. So, and I didn't do like the smart shuffle where it like plays songs from other places. Okay, it's actually really good to also take breaks when you're crocheting. Especially me with the tension I'm doing right now. Dude, the thing with it is, like, if you look at the design of the bag, I feel like there's so many people who crochet who could get this done in like a day. They're like, oh yeah, I just need like 15 hours. And I'm like, how do you do it? I don't know. I take my breaks super seriously, because I've one time like gotten so like not burnt out, but like my it was my forearm, like it was part of the arm or something like that. Like I was going in a little too hard, and it started feeling sore. And I know some people end up wearing like wrist braces and stuff like that from like crocheting. That's why I wear this glove right here, because it helps. I have I put a bunch of pressure in my hands when I'm crocheting. I need to wear my left glove because right now I'm feeling a lot of pressure here, because the way I hold my yarn, I'm like aggressively pulling. Like sometimes I don't do it on purpose all the time, but for me it's to keep this yarn, you know, a pretty tight tension. But what ends up happening is I get a bunch of stress built up there. So it's really good to take a break. This isn't necessarily something that a stretch can fix. I know some people's problems can just be fixed with some stretches. I know stretching beforehand is good though, to like loosen up your muscles. But while I am chillaxing right now, or you know, trying to chillax, I think next week, I'm hoping I feel better next. Actually, I know I'm gonna feel better. I'm not hoping, I know I am. But I think I'm gonna do another Stardew Valley thing. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and make it another fall. I might do another pumpkin, even though I am crocheting a pumpkin for my office for like decoration. I think I'm gonna go ahead and make another one of these as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do another one of these. Pumpkin, and I want to do an apple or maybe a pomegranate. I gotta look at my colors because I'm thinking of pumpkin because I used like so much of this red, and I don't know, man. So I'm thinking pumpkin. And then for the winter, because I wanted to kind of rotate what's like hanging in my office. Like I think I want to have like certain designated spots for like the fruits and vegetables on the wall. Yeah. Then I have this billboard I want to decorate. I don't need to. It could just be a blank billboard, but I'm gonna decorate it. And I'm thinking about putting like recipes on it, fall recipes, because we're like a nutrition kind of place. Okay, and I was just reminded, so let me actually show this. I was like listening to the music. I was like, oh yeah, nice music. So here are my headphones. They are this is not supposed to be the color. It's supposed to be black. These are skull candies, and I got these like when I was in like middle school. And they're officially on their last leg, as you can tell. This tape is not even doing a good job holding this together. It's hard for me to want to put tape on this part to like make it sturdy, because like adjusting it and stuff, like sometimes I just need to adjust it and stuff. Okay, how did I have this? Okay, so right now like my left ear is like it doesn't fully hear the music. I mean, it hears it, it's just like not as clear as my right ear, because it's not on completely. It's like bending outwards. But I'm trying out these wireless earphones. Yeah, earphones, not headphones. I'm trying out these wireless earphones because I am tired of the snapping of headphones, which I say that as if I buy headphones all the time. I do not. As I said, I've had these since I was in middle school, and I've been just using them a lot more, than when I was in middle school. Because I feel like, actually no, I don't feel like, I know for a fact that since phones had like headphone jacks, I would just use earphones. They were easy to carry around, you know, just plug it into the thingamabob. You know, I wasn't one of the cool kids with my Beats and stuff. And when I say cool kids, I mean like a bunch of the student athletes in middle school had like Beats or something. And they'd have like the little case. But I mostly used like my school candies when I was at home doing homework, listening to, I guess, kind of music like this, my little lo-fi. Because I was a lo-fi study girl, you know, study lo-fi girl or whatever. And something I didn't realize, because I feel like every time I crochet, I have headphones in, or like, yeah, something's playing, but there's like a sound that it makes whenever you're... Hold on, let me see if I can hear it. Let me take off my headphones. Yeah, it's like a slight, like some yarns have like, apparently some yarns are squeaky. This isn't really like squeaky, and it's not as loud as some yarns have. Maybe if I look at it super close up and have it like close to my face, I'll hear it better. But I don't know, sometimes I should probably just like put down the music sometime and just listen to the yarn. Maybe ASMR. I've never been an ASMR person, so I don't know why I just said that. But apparently some people like the sound of it, because I was watching a video and it was like a silent video of someone crocheting. Okay, sorry, I thought I was gonna cough. Ooh, my throat's really dry, like I'm gonna cough. But they was doing a silent video, and I was like, oh yeah, the way, like, whenever you put it inside, put the hook inside, inside the stitches and stuff like that, and you're like pulling up loops and stuff, it actually makes a little noise, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I feel like I need to learn how to hold my yarn differently so that it's not as stressful than my pointy finger, my left pointy finger. Also, for some reason, when I'm like looking at myself crochet, I'm like, wow, this looks like something that like an ambidextrous person would do. Maybe that's why so many people have a hard time doing it. So like, okay, I'm not ambidextrous, I'm right-handed, but like in middle school I learned how to play like, you know, string instruments. So like having to hold the bow in one hand. Hold on. So like having to hold the bow in one hand but also like playing the instrument. That was like a skill I learned. And I don't know, so maybe I'm a little better prepared whenever I was doing this when I first started. And then also the loom knitting too. I'm always gonna count that in. Did I click for this? I don't know. As I said, this is gonna be an estimate. I'll also see, like, compared to here. Oh wait, actually, I'm actually pretty close to being at the top. So I'm actually going to lift that a bit. Oh yeah, I'm actually very close. This is the bottom. I'm actually... Oh, okay, yeah, I'll actually finish this on stream. I don't know, I was just gonna be like, I'll finish this off stream and start on the other one, and maybe finish that one too, I don't know. But I'm not gonna sew this onto the plastic canvas just yet. I like to get all my pieces in order. And then I'm still debating if I want to do the same thing for, well, okay. So I'm thinking for the plastic, I just did 2 of these in a row. I'm thinking of doing a plastic canvas for, I guess I could do it for the front and the back. I would just have to stop it before I do the fold on the bag. So I guess where the hook's pointing, kind of like where the little chain thing's at. Oh, also, okay, this is what I meant to show last time. So, this right here. Yes, got this from the 100 yen store in yen, however you want to pronounce it. But, you can make like these. It's like a spiral thingy. And that's what I planned on doing, kind of like the little gold loop thing that's being shown with like the black squiggles inside. The black squiggles are supposed to be like the stitches. But I'm thinking about doing this and then stretching it. So in order for me to keep this stretched like this, I'm probably going to have to, well, not probably, but since it's acrylic, I'm going to have to use some steam, some hot steam, to help stretch these fibers and have it kind of thinner like this. And it'll hopefully look like what Rudolf has. So I might actually do that in the next stream. This is going to take a while. But the way this actually worked, this is kind of like a loom. Well, this is a loom. Like a peg board or something like that. Okay, whew. Okay, my throat's getting a little dry. But you basically, like loom knitting, what you do is you wrap yarn around here. And then you kind of like... You'll see. I might not do it next week, or I might start it next week and also do the perler beads. Now, I think I'll try to keep like separate projects in their own stream. And let me actually see how many more rows I want to do of this. Okay, I was just yapping to myself about Marvel Rivals, and how I haven't played it much. And I figured out from my yapping. I stopped playing as much when Ultron came out. I think I got a little overwhelmed because like then they added that new game mode with Ultron, and I was like trying to figure that out because I was like I can actually win this, and then I started getting master people who I guess knew how to play with it. But yeah, I might as well try the new tank, cause why not? I mean, she look a little crazy, not gonna lie, but some of the proportions of the characters in the game look a little crazy. Okay, at the end of this one, I actually might as well start looking at this now, because I'm gonna make this slightly shorter. Let me just put this on top so that it can go in. Actually, hold on. It might be the end. Yeah. This is about the same, but oh, it's kind of hard for y'all to see. But I don't want the ends to be, because I'm gonna weave in the ends. But I think this goes over a bit. This is gonna go over a bit, but that's fine. It'll weave in the ends. Actually, I probably could do one less row. I might undo this last row. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna undo this row. I'm working on right now. Yeah, because then it'll just be, it's hard to tell, but it'll just be this on the top. Okay, so it's not gonna be, it'll be 30 rows. Okay, that's a perfect number. So the way to, I guess, finish this, or not necessarily finish, but just to make sure it's secure, funny enough, it's pretty simple. All you do is you chain, just like that. And so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this end off. I probably could have left the longer end to weave in, but yeah, whenever you pull on it, since it's a chain, it's like a knot in a way. So that'll stay. And I wanted to make this a little bit shorter. Okay, this is still a bit longer. Oh wait, this is, okay, no. Wait. What? No, not a bit shorter. I wanted this to be, I actually do not remember anymore. But I think I'm gonna keep it 30 rows. 30 rows of this. This right here is one panel that's gonna be on the side of the bag. And it doesn't really matter if I do it on this side or that side. They're both the same because I was constantly going like back and forth. So the texture is the same on both sides. But yeah, I might end up cutting this down a bit. Oh wait, no, longer. This is how I want it to be longer than the actual thing. Okay. Probably not this much longer though, is the only thing. I'm gonna figure this out. But 30 rows is good. I'll put that in my little notes. Cause I like to write little notes while I'm working on projects like this. So things can be, you know, the right dimensions. But I think I am just gonna be doing that today. Yeah, I can hear my voice slipping away. No, my voice isn't slipping away. It's just nasally and sad sounding. But anyway, I'm gonna, no flow. I am gonna go ahead and end the stream here. Thanks for everyone who came out. And yeah, I will try to think. I think I'll end up making this one big post when I'm done on like Instagram, and then like making a short. For now, I will just be working on this here, and you know, you'll see the live updates here on stream. I need to start turning some of the like highlight videos and stuff like that I have on my channel into like little TikToks. I don't know. I'm sure at least one person would be interested in seeing something like this. Working on consistent schedule still, you know. My job, I don't know, we might end up changing our clinic hours, so that is a thing to think about. But, you know, yeah, thanks again everyone who came. I'm gonna continue working on this, probably not next week or the rest any of the time this week. But actually I will try to go ahead and make this other one. It only took me like 50 something minutes, and that, well, okay, I started on this, so it probably took me like an hour and some to make this little panel. So I'll try to finish that for next time, and then start on maybe one of the front or back ones. Probably the front one. The front one is basically gonna just be it's gonna be the same height as this, but just wider. Oh wait, I kind of like the way it looks on this side. I'm wondering if I should do the front panel like this, or if I should do it, okay, I'm gonna figure that out. I'll probably just do it the same exact way I did this. But yeah, thanks again for everyone who came, and yeah, until next time, I will see you all later.